All right, my beautiful people, my individual expressions of God on earth. Let's break down money versus cash flow, aka money versus purpose. You see, brothers and sisters, it's very interesting when we understand that if you can create, if we want to use that term create, money, we can also create cash flow. So the difference between money and cash flow, money is something that is given to us. Money is something that we save or accumulate. Money is something that we work for. Cash flow is something that we create. Cash flow is passion or purpose. Cash flow is the result of a creative activity. Money is a result of energy and effort. It's very important that we understand the difference between these two. To understand the difference so that way you know when you may not have something called cash, it does not mean you broke. It simply means that you have purpose, you have passion, you have creativity. That's a flow. Out of your belly flows. So we want to talk about this flow that comes out of your belly. Because when you're able to tap into that flow, even though you may be low on cash, you are never low on flow. Because you determine the rate of that energy, frequency, wave, vibration, that flow. You are the only person that determines your rate of flow. And that is determined, again, by what you know, meaning true, authentic self. So all feelings that have to do with cash comes from the looking at the overwhelming frequency, waves and vibration that comes from what you currently see. So currency must be replaced by flow. So a flow is based upon what you know. So whenever what you know, even anytime that there's a energy block, then that will stop your flow. So the things that stop your flow are the thing that creates this energy block. There's a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's just a lack of what you know. So this lack of knowledge, as the Bible says, this lack of this lack of gnosis, this lack of awareness, this self-awareness, that hinders and that stops your flow. So it is this, again, lack of a proper self-image. Because remember, brothers and sisters, cash is simply what you have on hand. Cash is usually the amount of funds or funding that we have in our pocket, in our bank account. So that's cash, or that's money. So money and purpose flow, cash flow, peak performance, creativity, sometimes gets, we lump that all together, but there's an extreme difference between what we call money, what we call cash, and basically our current bank account. So most of the time we get concerned when we look at our bank account. So the war is between taking your eyes off of your bank account and putting your eyes on your creativity and your creative flow. Now remember, your creative flow is based upon what you know. So there is no creative flow if you don't know. Now the problem is we all know, and this is you're part of this group. So your creative flow is based upon what you know. Sometimes we forget what we know, and so that stops our flow. So your job and my job is to take our eyes off of the amount of money, funds, concrete paper that we have in the bank or in our pocket. And then we got to put our eyes on the flow, because out of your belly, out of your gut, flows rivers of living water. That water is in your gut. So we got to have a gut knowledge instead of a head knowledge. So the problem is when we talk about purpose, we talk about cash flow. Cash flow is way more important than money. You can receive a lot of money. You can have a lot of money. You can put money in the bank. That is awesome. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, obviously the best of both worlds is to have both. You got cash and you got flow. That's the best of both worlds. You can't go wrong. You got a bunch of money sitting in the bank, and you have the ability to operate in the law of circulation or the law of flow. That's the law of increased magnetism, the law of understanding that, man, anytime I'm in a crunch, I do the same thing that everybody else do. The first thing I do is I get concerned about the crunch. Excuse me. That's automatic. Nothing wrong with it. You're just acknowledging reality. But remember, as we talked about before, we created it 21 days ago. But we just don't remember it. So you just got to remember that, okay, I'm in, like today, whatever you're feeling today, that was created 21 days ago. That was created 14 days ago. Or that was created 7 days ago, depending on your intensity and your environment. So that stops your flow. That is an energy block. If you focus on what you're feeling today, tomorrow, 21 days from now, you're going to be right back in the same place you are today. So what I do is when I'm feeling it, I say, yep, I'm feeling it. Then I ask myself, how do I replace this feeling? Okay. The only thing that I can do to replace that feeling is what? Well, what is prayer? We broke that down last night. First step in prayer, be thankful, be glad, be happy. Why are you going to be glad and be happy and you broke, or you sick, or you ignorant, or you're in a bad relationship? You really can't be happy, so you don't focus on where you're at. You focus on where you're going. So I think about, okay, how am I get to where I'm going? Well, the only way I know how to get to where I'm going is to do what? What am I the best in the world at? This is my go-to right here. Because creativity or creative flow is based upon what you know. So I got to go back. What am I the best in the world? That's what I know. Your creative flow is based upon what you know. See, what you believe is not what you know. So what you believe, that simply means that you don't know. Belief is you don't know it. If you know it, you don't believe it. You can't believe it and know it. Because like that one video where the guy walks around, the black guy say, are you a white man? And the guy said, I believe I'm a white man. And he said, but so you don't know you're a white man? He said, no, I believe I'm a white man. He said, well, that means if you believe it, that means you don't know. So you see, what you believe, you don't know. And then what you know, you don't believe. Because what is belief? Well, belief means that you are still giving yourself the information to establish what you know. Belief means you haven't come to a point where you don't have to accumulate no more knowledge to verify what it is that you're trying to be. That's belief. So I believe in, because you've never seen it, you don't know, like you believe in God. Why? Because you got no evidence, you got no proof, you just got belief. That's awesome. And it's done unto you as you believe. But knowing is a whole other ball game. See, what you know determines how fast you grow. So your creative flow is based upon what you know. The problem is very few. It's like when you're an adult. When you're a kid, and they say, what you want to be when you grow up? All kids. So I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be. And then we get older. Somebody asks you, what do you want to be? And you say that, and your parent would say, boy, stop playing. Think more realistically. You can't be that. So your being gets chopped down by your parents. So we all stop. There's very few adults. If you ask them right now, if I were to ask you right now, what it is that you want to be, a lot of people don't know. When I ask people the $1 billion question that I ask you, and I'm asking you again, and I'll ask you, if anybody knows, text me the answer to this question. What are you the best in the world at? What are you the best in the world at? Now, remember, I'm putting you up against everybody else that's in that same category. What are you the best in the world? Nobody else is better than you in the whole entire world. What are you the best in the world at? Since most people don't know that answer to that question, they don't have no cash flow. That they can't generate cash flow. Cash flow is king. Because anytime you're stuck, you just, it's like printing paper. It's like printing money. But what happens is there's things that block your ATM or your money machine. So we all are walking, talking, breathing money machines. So the number one thing that stops your money machine is satisfaction or stability, cash. Because when you receive cash, that stops your creativity. Why? There's no need. You got money. Now don't get it twisted. Having money is awesome. I prefer to have stacks and stacks of paper. Just realize, that stops your creativity. The number one money block is money. But I don't know, like most people who have money, they don't hustle. It's like the number one motivator in life is hunger. Like to be hungry. That's the only thing. That's the whole purpose of the evening class that we're doing. That's breaking down. Like last night we talked about prayer, and we said, as I mentioned earlier today, the number one thing is to be glad, be happy, be thankful. So when you wake up every morning, you should be glad, be happy, be thankful. How many people woke up today and you were glad and you were happy and you were thankful? When I woke up, I wasn't, and then I had to remind myself, "Whoa, pump the brakes, homie." You automatically wake up with whatever agenda is on your mind. You need to cut the grass. You need to drop the kids off at school. You need to pay bills. Whatever you have to do, that's on your mind as soon as you wake up. Very few people wake up and say, a deep nostril breathing, "Thank you, Father. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Buddha. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Pleroma," whoever. Very few. Now, I've been doing this shit for a long time. I don't even do it. I remind myself, though. It takes me a while. I go out, I wake up, I do my breathing, I get, go to the garage. But today was a little bit longer. So today took me a little bit longer to get into the groove. By the time I got to the garage, I was like, "Whoa, hold up, time out, bro. Let's flip the script. 21 days from now, do you want to wake up the way you woke up this morning?" Nope. Okay, well, let's change. How do you want to wake up 21 days from now, 14 days from now, 7 days from now? Well, I want to wake up happy. Okay, be happy now. That's how I flip the script. I ask myself one question. Do you want to repeat what you are feeling right now 7 days from now, 14 days? Like for me, it's like 2 days max. Because it doesn't take me long for whatever I'm thinking today to manifest. So the question is, again, we're talking about if somebody gives you cash, a.k.a. money, that is awesome. You receive the payment. Then you use that cash, that payment, to do what? Pay your bills, take care of things. Okay, but then that's it. So we need to have something called flow. So that way, you got both. You got cash that you work from your job, or that you borrow or you loan or whatever you do, and you receive cash. That's awesome. Then that cash keeps you afloat. But you got to also have something flowing and coming in. That's why I do offers every day. So it's very important. Like you guys, everybody don't have my book on Kleronomics. That's in the notes or the text that I sent everybody. If you look at the chapters, there are 12 principles. Everybody should get that book. It's free. Now you can go on Amazon. It's on Amazon.com. You can go to Google. Just Google Kleronomics. Hit enter. That book pops up on Google for $19.95. Now you can go to Payloads and just get it for free. I should have put the link in there, I guess, huh? Or I'm just seeing the PDF copy. Either way, you just go to Payloads, type it in, and it comes up product number 264. So if you go to my Payloads page, just type in product number 264. That's the PDF. That's the book. That was one of the books that I put on. I put 3 books on Amazon. To date, I have not seen a dime. People buy it all the time. Somebody asks me and say, "Hey, man, I just purchased your book." Obviously, I don't even get notified by it. That's why I don't put nothing on Amazon anymore. When I first started, I was young, dumb, and stupid. I didn't know. That book, that Kleronomics book, sells on some Alibaba, some other site for like $279. I don't know why anybody would pay that much, but people do. To this day, I have not seen a dime from the revenue from that book. I know nobody who put their books on Amazon who make money from it. I know a lot of people who have their books on Amazon. So the only reason you put a book on Amazon is just so that way you can say, "Hey, I got a book on Amazon." Maybe it's like prestigious, I guess. That's why I do self-publishing now. So I got 298 plus books that I self-published that ain't on Amazon. Why? Cash flow. That way when somebody buys the book, the money goes in my pocket. It don't go to Amazon. Now, thankfully, once a year I will get a little thing from my Lulu account. And, it'd be anywhere from one year I got like $35. Sometimes and most I ever got was like $150, $200. I have no idea who's buying it. So that's why I don't do those platforms anymore, because you have no control. Because somebody else is controlling your cash flow. So cash flow is something that you create once and you get paid on it for the rest of your life. Like I've been telling everybody, it's, you should be putting stuff out there. TikTok and YouTube, and it's really weird. Now you can do paid advertising and you get, you can put X amount of dollars in. Once you tweak it, you get X amount of dollars out. Nothing wrong with that. Highly recommend it. If you got a bunch of cash you want to blow through until you figure out the algorithm, and then it will be beneficial. I've always used what they call evergreen marketing. It's just word of mouth. Now, like I said before, my goal is to, hire 30 promoters. And that's all they do all day is just promote. That's it. And all the goal is just to, eventually just hire some business partners. And just have somebody just take over, just hire one person, and they got the promotion. Hire somebody else, and they just do the graphics. Hire somebody else, and they just do the back end uploading. Because I'm a creator. So my job is to build an organization of like-minded people seeking the deeper aspects of life and godliness, so that we all create something called cash flow. So that's the end game. That's the goal. The goal is to connect with people who not only see the vision, but also want to be a part of the vision automatically. See, it's not about money. So, for example, everybody would be, an independent contractor, 1099, like I've been doing for years. Affiliate marketing. Basically, hey, just like anything else, you get paid based about, what you do. You don't do nothing, you don't get paid nothing. Most people don't have the mental disposition, which ain't nothing wrong with it, because I wouldn't believe in something that I don't believe in. So the marketing strategy, the target audience or the target market, and your sales strategy creates your cash flow. Sales strategies are interesting because it really is you just investing in other people. So my sales strategy is to invest in other people. So I can forecast my sales based upon my service. If I want more sales, I increase my service. That's why you guys see me doing more what I call free content, like today's show. Today's message, we finished the Kingdom Millionaires. We finished the manifestation series that we were doing. In the evening, we are involved in a pay-per-view message. But night. So that's part of cash flow, because that's more of a paid audience. So I need to get more people interested in the paid stuff. So they got to get to know me. So I got to build a relationship. I got to do what? Same thing I tell you guys. I got to get attention, add value, and then provide continued support. That's how I build my audience. So if it's just me, if I got 10 other people building my audience, that just does what? It's the same thing to what you should be doing. Everybody on this call, whether you're helping me or whether you're just doing it yourself, everybody should be building your audience. Even if you don't have a product, you still can be building your audience. Everybody already have an audience, even if it's just your family members. So we have to think, though, because remember, creative flow based upon what you know. That's cash flow. Now we got to go to the smoking gun. But what do you know? One of the things that I enjoy, so again, first offer today is, hey, pick up the free book if you don't already have it. Second offer is the Hidden Sciences series that I did, which is 25 audios. 25 is for $99. And I'll give you guys a link because I broke down and got into some of the things that, now that's a series that I did back in 2017. So that's just now I'm just rebranding and remarketing content because everybody that was part of the group back in 2016, 2017, yeah, they pretty much moved on to greener pastures. Except for maybe, I think probably Dr. Span, Dr. Martinet, been rock and rolling with him for a long time. My boy, brother George was around, probably doing that series. Other than that, I don't think anybody that's been rocking and rolling with me since 2016. It's 2023 now. So that was a while back. But the point of the matter is it's still that content is still relevant. It's still beneficial. And so I go back and I listen to, so that was what, 2016, 2023, that's what, about 7. So that was about 7 years ago. So for the most part, I think most of you guys went around with me back in, so the show was, I don't know, let me see. It's been about what? So the show about 5 years? To the Coleman, I think. So I don't know if you guys were around. I know Brother Mitch it's only been Brother Jesse, only been, Sister T. So for those guys, all this content is new. So that series was because it's the hidden, I got into the science behind the Bible. It's the science behind, and that series, I was re-listening to it this morning, and I was just like, man, I need to rebrand it. I need to put it back out there because it breaks down the science behind the unseen forces. I really broke down the entire Hebrews 11. By faith, we understand that the universe, the worlds were framed. And we talked a lot about, how the universe, how we frame our world with our thoughts. But focusing a lot on the science. And it's 25 hours. It was a lot of information. It was a whole series that we did way back in the day. So I'm reposting that on TikTok. I'm also promoting the one-on-ones, after people get the free download, then they have questions. And so the goal is to do it. Answer those questions. And then I point them into the Voice of Life management system. So the point, my brothers and sisters, that's cash flow. So cash flow means if I'm sitting there and I'm listening to everybody, and I'm talking to everybody, and my question to you is, So the West said 2020. So yeah, it hasn't been about 3 years. It seems like longer than that, right, Sister Cheryl? It seems like we've known each other for years. I'm talking like 10 years or something. But it's just crazy because of, we've known each other for 3 years, but same thing with, like Sister Coleman, even Sister T. I've known Sister T now, probably about 6 months. But it seems like I've known Sister T for a long time. Saying that, it has that comfort level because we have shared numbers, but it's really shared values because those numbers are value. It's like, when you talk to different people, I could joke around, we could have fun because I'm not, I know that you guys know me. I would never intentionally try to say something that's going to hurt, harm, or defraud somebody. So if I do, it's not intentionally. And if I'm made aware of it, I'm like, hey, I apologize. I'm not, should we go through enough negativity outside of the group? I don't want to bring that stuff inside of the group. It's crazy that people think it's kind of like that when that thing that happened down in Alabama, and pretty much, like I told you guys, pretty much everybody that came in the group with Brother Jesse and Sister T from Brother Dan's group, which was primarily Caucasian, Brother Mitch, They're the only three left. I mean, everybody left. Now, some people had already left before that, but the few that was hanging around, man, they went ghost quick. I ain't seen them since. That means that somebody got offended. So that's shadow work. That's how you know, whoop, I got shit to work on. If I can say something to get you so pissed off that you leave the group, unless you was never in the group, which is another study for another time. Because what is the group? Like-minded. So what is my vision? What is my goal? Well, my vision is the same. It's always been the same. Replace error with truth. My vision is to help you find and fulfill your God-given destiny. My vision is for you to be wealthy, healthy, wise, and get your toes curled every day. That's my goal. That's the only reason I'm here. I'm here so that way you can be the highest version of yourself. That's it. For you to be the vibrational equivalent of your higher self. We call that higher self God. So every day, every time y'all tune in, y'all know that the stuff that I'm sharing is for one purpose and one. I ask myself, what can I say to not only help further my own vibrational equivalence with source, but yours. And this morning, the thing that dropped in my spirit was find your purpose. Well, we talk about it all the time. But from the perspective of what's stopping your flow. Well, we always talk about self-identity. Okay, but what is it about your self-identity that is limiting you? So that way you're not fulfilling, so that way you're not in the overflow. So if I'm not in the overflow, so what are the things that I can do to get to the overflow? Well, the biggest thing to do to get to the overflow is to identify what is stopping the flow. So when you look at your own personal life and you say, okay, why ain't I? Because you really are, you haven't vibrationally aligned with the overflow. Well, how come? You have vibrationally aligned with the underflow. Well, okay, well, how come? Lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge of what? Yourself. Okay, what is it about myself that I need to know? You need to know how to do like everything I got to know. And that is what? Problem pops up. Doesn't matter what the problem is. It could be wealth, it could be health, it could be wisdom, it could be relationships. No matter what the problem is, something pops up. And I'm watching this video today talking about sodium. Tell me the number one reason why old people die is because doctors tell them you got too much salt in your system. And your stomach cannot digest your food. It's amazing to me because we have sodium and potassium pumps. All energy is created by sodium and potassium. And elderly people are told, and they're all put on, and they say it's high blood pressure. Don't have shit to do with high blood pressure. There's another doctor on TikTok that's talking about, which is crazy. The blood pressure rate for white people would cause Asian people, it causes Asian, because he was Asian, like Chinese, Japanese, to have extreme migraines. If their blood pressure is the normal blood pressure for a Caucasian, and the normal blood pressure for a Caucasian is high blood pressure for an African American or a Alkebulan. So the doctor is saying that there is no one size fits all when it comes to blood pressure, when it comes to cholesterol, when it comes to your blood sugar levels. But the doctors don't tell you that. Now, I know that. I tell you guys that all the time. But the number of black people that are on high blood pressure and pre-diabetic and all that shit, because it's based upon a European white male. Negro, you ain't European. But you can't tell a black man that, or a black woman for that matter. They go to a white doctor. Now, what is that? Creativity, cash flow is based upon what you know. That's fucking up your life and you don't even know. So everybody has a problem. Any problem that exists in your life is because there's a lack of knowledge. You got a belief system, but you ain't got a knowing system. Not you personally, of course, but people you know. So I seek to be the most knowledgeable mother beep in the room. That's my job. My job is to make sure I bump who I'm talking to. I'm going to make sure I'm the smartest man in the room. Because before I go into that room, you can best and believe I'm going to do my research. If I'm going to a summit with a bunch of computer nerds, programmers and AI. You know what I'm going to do before I go to the summit? Man, I'm going to be up for hours reading, studying, researching the terms, the verbiage, so that way I can go into that room. What's the question? I mean, what's the phrase that everybody needs to memorize? And the answer for yourself, are you the best in the world at blank? So I don't go into rooms where I'm not the best in the world. That doesn't mean I don't go learn. I don't go and try to sell or service or promote in rooms where I'm not the best. Why? You're going to experience something called reject. What does that do to your DNA? Repeated failure. What does it do? So the problem is you putting yourself in the wrong room. Not you personally, people you know. Failure means there ain't no such thing as failure. Failure exists when your ass is in the wrong room. You're marketing to the wrong demographics. It's like I'm going over, if I go to Japan and I'm going to take my shit to Japan. I don't speak Japanese. I don't write Japanese. I don't know the Japanese culture. But I'm going to go over to Japan and I'm going to start promoting Diakonia reports over there. Well, they got a whole new, the Chinese zodiac and, the Japanese zodiac system, totally different from ours. So let's say I go to China and I set up shop. And I ain't done no research. Because remember, I'm talking about what flows naturally to me. I just wake up, I ain't got to do nothing. Well, it's not the Chinese zodiac system. Because remember I was telling you guys, because of the Chinese, they have those animal years. Remember I put that in your Diakonia report as well. And I said that we are now going from 2024, we're going to the year of the fire. The 5 elements. But it also talks about, in Chinese, you could be, the year of the rat. They have the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, rooster, monkey, goat, pig. Remember all of that? That's in your Diakonia report. Man, I don't know shit about that. I'm born in America. Now, I know the basics. So I just put the basic in there to give everybody, in case you want to go in and do more research. But I know that the year that I was born in, and that's what everybody, you're born in a specific year, and that year, according to the Chinese zodiac, year, that gives you a specific, frequency, wave, or vibration. Okay, you're supposed to know that. What if you don't? Well, that sucks for you. I know in the year that I was born, all the way up to a certain year, and they break it down as you go to the Chinese zodiac, blah, blah, blah. I was born in what's called the year of the tiger. So if I go selling stuff in Japan, I need to know what the hell, the year of the tiger is. Not the rabbit, not the dragon, the year of the tiger, because that's part of the Chinese culture. Well, that means that I possess certain attributes and characteristics that are tiger, courageous, assertive, natural leaders, hungry, thrill seekers, crave attention, very, very short-tempered, capable of great generosity and service. These are, if you look at it, pretty much matches my personality. And if you can go in, you can just Google it. And each year matches up with 5 or matches up with the elements. Now, again, I'm giving you an example of what is called knowledge, knowing, best in the world. There are 5 phases of what they call the 5 elements or 5 agents, 5-fold elements of the Chinese, which is Japanese as well, fire, water, wood, metal, and earth. They got a whole system. We're going into the fire. In 2024, we're going into the year or the phase of the fire. And I thought that was very interesting because the Bible says, hey, not by water, but fire next time. So the whole Bible is really talking about, as everybody like your boy Santos Bonanacci or whatever his name is talks about. So we're talking about the fact that the universe is releasing a specific attribute and characteristic. Well, fire is warmth, fire is enthusiasm, fire is creativity, fire is spontaneous, fire is enlightening or enlightenment, fire is impulsive, fire is heat, fire on the negative side can burn, fire is like over consumption, fire is excessive joy and optimism. So fire has positive and negative attributes and characteristics, but we are going into, according to their system, the year of the fire. That would be, that could be good to know. Because then, like our system of thought. So if I'm going and talking about helping people establish purpose, I have to be the best in the room at what I do. So I spend a lot of time, in the past, I spent a lot of time of learning ancient esoteric texts. Why? Well, I'm here to replace error with truth. That means when I go into a room, I'm the best in the world at overcoming current habit patterns. Meaning, I know I'm the best in the world at what I do. So somebody coming to me and they start talking about, Jesus and Buddha or any kind of religion. I know I'm just waiting for them to ask me a question. Now, I'm not going to offer. I don't want to create no quantum entanglement with become an unequally yoked because I know I'm going to piss somebody off. But the moment that they say, well, hey, Brother Will, or hey, depending on what group I'm in, the moment I'm going to break down the Yahweh code. I'm going to break down the EHYEH. I'm going to destroy their narrative. Because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend my series that I did on Abraxas. I'm going to ask them, do you know who Abraxas is? They don't know. I already know. I'm not even know. I'm asking, do you know who Samael is, the blind God? Did you read my book called The Cost You the Most Grator, the Cosmogrator? Anybody read Ephesians 6? There's 0 Christians that I run across. And I ask them these questions. None. 0. I've never met a Christian in my life who know who the fuck Abraxas is or Samael is. Most of them don't even know that the whole world is an unorthodox production. So that's where I start. And they start scratching their head like, well, who is that? Lies, brother. That's lies. I never heard of that shit. It's not in my Bible. That's why you never heard of it. Then I started telling them, hey, you might want to go to this website, sacredtext.com. Why would I point them to that website? I don't even send them to my website. Because, they ain't going to believe me. They already have a ruling disposition. It can't be replaced. So I send them to something else. And then they'll come back to me and say, well, I went to sacredtext.com and I saw all of these ancient texts. I always recommend, read the Book of Enoch. Read the Codex Gigas. Read the Emmanuel Elish. There's so many books when it comes to world religions. Why would I do that? I'm the best in the world at what I do. I'm the best in the world. I got 0 competition. So my question to you is, when you wake up and you want to generate cash flow, what are you the best in the world at? When I talk to people, they can't tell me what they are the best in the world at. But they can tell me what they're good at. What I'm pretty good at, okay, good is not good enough. You got to be the best. You got 0 competition. Why? You are 100% authentic. You're 100% real. You guys remember what we said last night? What is prayer? You real. You ain't fake. That means you don't talk to nobody about shit that you learned out of a book. Real life experiences, authentic gut initiative, puts you in a position of being thankful and grateful and humble. That's power. You're not arrogant. You're not cocky. it comes across like you're arrogant and you're cocky. But when I get off this phone, I'm humbled. I'm thankful that, because if it wasn't for the grace and mercy of God, there go I. So I'm always in the middle of this position, even though it may seem like, man, my doctor's off the chain. I'm off the chain because my power moves me towards an advantage that allows me to be full, to be happy, to be joyful, to be glad. That's the power of prayer. Number one, be real. Number two, be authentic. Number three, be humble. Number four, establish a position. That humble, thankful spirit, that's power. Every morning, you got to do that. I'm begging y'all, every morning when you wake up, every night when you go to bed, make sure you look in the mirror and be real and honest with yourself. Be authentic. That makes you humble. That makes you thankful. When you become humble and thankful, you're in a position of power. That position of power, that mental disposition of being humble, being thankful, being grateful for where you are and what you have, I don't care how bad it is, it could always be worse. You could be in a box 6 feet under the ground. You could be in a hospital hooked up on a bunch of tubes right now in a veggie state. You could be paralyzed. There's this, man, brothers and sisters, there's a lot of worse places you could be right now. So I don't care how bad it is, you got something to be thankful for. Because there's some people that don't have the activities of their limbs. There's people walking around right now that we can get up and walk to the kitchen and get whatever we want. There's some people that can't, they need assistance. Man, I'm thankful. Some people, they take the city bus. And I got 4 cars, I'm thankful. Man, there's some people that live in a little matchbox. I live in a big ass house, I'm thankful. There's some people they in debt, they owe people, they've done some illegal drug activity. They got money, but they got to look over their shoulder. So when they go to bed at night, they got guns everywhere. They got shit underneath their, guns underneath their pillow because they got their money as drug money. And so there's other drug dealers that want to take your corner. So you got to go, you got to represent. So you got to do bad things. There's some people that got money, but how they get their money? I ain't hurt, harm, or defraud nobody. So I sleep good at night, man. I'm thankful. Man, at my age, I can walk up a flight of stairs. I go lift weights. I go run. I do all the stuff that a 21-year-old can do. I'm thankful. Like I got all my kids. They doing great. I'm thankful. I got sound mind. I'm not suffering from dementia or anything. Man, stop playing. I'm thankful. So when you get that's power there. When you get in that position, that's a position of power. That takes you toward an advantage where your desires and your wishes are fulfilled. Just by being in a position of thankful, the Bible says, it tells us when we pray that we're supposed to pray with thanksgiving. And again, this gets into what we'll be booking out later on today. But the goal is that's creativity. My creative flow starts with my thanksgiving of what I know. Now, what do you know? See, brothers and sisters, it's a combination between attributes and characteristics and experiences. Because my motivated ability subject, what subject? Does everybody know? Everybody? And we can look at your numbers and stuff, but your numbers are very big and very vague. So sometimes that gets confusing. Like my month is September, so that's total awareness. Okay, that's great. But what does that mean? What subject? Everybody on this call, you have a specific subject. What is your specific subject that, man, you start talking about that subject, you are the best in the world. You are a specific subject matter expert. Why? Because that subject matters to you. Until you become a specific subject matter expert, your dog won't hunt. Because when you speak, You don't speak as one having authority. You're not a SME. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but we're talking about cash flow, though. Because your cash flow is based upon what you know and to a little bit who you know. I thank God for the people that I know on this call. I would not be the man that I am. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for people on this call. So it's not only what, but it's also who. You guys are my friends. I would go out and say, you guys are my family. I consider each one of you, everybody on this call today, just like a family member. Because y'all, knowingly or unknowingly, have done things that have changed my life. Sometimes I have one-on-ones, and I get out the phone in tears. Because I'm so thankful that our paths have crossed. You guys have made an impact on me and my family. I wouldn't be driving. I wouldn't be living. My livelihood and everything. I'm sharing information with you guys. You guys are sharing your hard-earned money and currency with me. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. And I don't know if I said enough as I should, but I am thankful for everybody on this call, for every program, for every book, for everything that you guys have done for me. I share a lot of information, and I'm thanking you guys tell me all the time, Doctor, that was a powerful show. Or, man, that was awesome, Brother Will. Appreciate you. Y'all give me thumbs up. And all the time, sometimes throughout the day, I get, text messages from different people just saying, hey, bro, that was a great show. The message of what you just said, that got that, that registered and this, that, and the other. So, I said, but I don't know if I said enough. So, again, man, from me to you, thank you. I'm so appreciative. I live the life that I live because of you. And I am so thankful because I am a very, very, very blessed man. I take my hat off to each and every person on this call because if it was not for you, there was no way I could do what I do. There's no way. And every morning I wake up, man, I am living the life that I used to dream about. I still remember this, man. This is why I keep telling you. That's why it's so powerful. And I know, because when you do know, it does come across as arrogance. And I'm not apologizing, but I'm acknowledging the fact that my creativity, my flow is based upon what I know. And what I know is verified by how you grow. Not so much how I grow, but how everybody on this call grows. And I can remember when everyone, whether we talk about Sister T, whether we talk about Sister Cheryl, Brother Jesse, I can go through the list, Brother Joy, everybody. I can remember, like it was yesterday. And I think about all the clients that's gone, and they outliving, especially like Sister Zakil. Man, I always mention, Sister Candace. I remember Sister Addie. I remember the first time I met Sister Addie, man, the first phone call, and I tell you guys, we both was crying on the phone. Some of the stuff that she had been through, I just couldn't believe it. It's like, man, it's just sad that people treat, especially women that are, that have a brain inside of religion, man, they get treated like trash because they're a threat to male-dominated religion. And then say then, I tell you guys, when I first met Dee, when I met my wife, man, I just couldn't believe. I was like, what? People told you that in the church? Family members? And I just think about, man, that blocks your cash flow. That creates feelings. That three-headed monster that we talk about, man, that's how you get that energy block. And what I do every day is help people identify and remove that three-headed monster, especially self-rejection. Because you can't manifest your dreams when your belief is bounded by your own rejection of yourself. Beliefs manifest when, or should I say dreams manifest when your belief knows no bounds. That's the only time your dreams, your desires, what you want, your prayers are not answered until you get to a place where they are free to go. And it took me a long time, brothers and sisters, to get to this place where I could grow. Because I was bound, man. I mean, you talk about shackles on your feet? Woo-wee. I had chains. So I couldn't fly. I wanted to fly. Fly means to allow out of your belly flows rivers of living water. That's what the Bible says. That's cash flow. Now remember, money, nothing wrong with money. You want to get some money, hey, but money is stagnant. Money comes and goes. But we create by thought, not by action. Action only facilitates the movement of what the thought has established. Energy is the essence. It is transformation through thought. Some people call that magic. It's actually science. But that thought is held captive by self-abandonment, self-betrayal, and self-rejection, which means that you're not in a mental state of prayer. And that's why fasting comes in, so that you can get back to being your true, authentic, real self. And when you are true and authentic, man, you are in a very, very, very humble, thankful state. Because when you become real, you look around and you know that there's a God. You may not be able to name it, define it, but you know, if it wasn't for the grace and mercy of God, there go I. You know you dodge bullets. You know that you can wake up. I wake up every day and I look around. There's men that are at my age and they in wheelchairs. They in hospice homes. They're not living the dream like I'm doing. Man, I'm so thankful, man. There's a world going to hell in a handbasket. If you want to, especially based upon what the news is telling us. So everything in life starts with that disposition of thanksgiving, prayer, and thanksgiving. Then you're ready to talk about what we're talking about today. What are you the best in the world at? Now, I'm not talking about your job. I know that's what you're thinking. And it's great. The job is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But when you are, I'm going to use the word, what the Bible uses, in a mental state of anxiety. Philippians 4:6 tells us, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication or petition with thanksgiving. In everything. So it is this mistake that we make sometimes by not operating according to Philippians 4:6. Now, it's easy to say it when you're not in it. But when you're in it, it's hard to over-understand Philippians 4:6. Because it says that we're supposed to be anxious, or in the King James says, be careful for nothing. So what does that mean, though? Be careful or be anxious, It simply means to care for. Now, if you look this up,
Strong's G 3309, metanao, Meremnao.
That's why I keep telling you guys, man, I'm a retired carer. That's hard. But the Bible says you ain't supposed to care. I ain't saying it. The Bible says it. So your issue is not with me. When you think about caring, remember what it means. It means to be troubled. That word means to be troubled in mind, to care for, to look out for, to seek to promote. That creates anxiety. So I don't have none. Now remember, this stops money. Now remember, I'm not, let me rephrase that, cash, currency. Because remember, money is something that someone else gives you. Money is something that's a medium of exchange. When you exchange your time and your energy for dollars instead of your creativity in mind. So I'm exchanging my creativity and my mind. That's cash flow. But if you exchange your time and your back, your energy and your effort, okay, that's money. Two different things. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about cash flow. Out of my belly flows rivers of living water. So cash flow is totally different from money. There's a big difference. See, entrepreneurs, we a lot of times we don't have money. We have cash flow. So you bump into an entrepreneur, a lot of times they don't have money. They have cash flow because they always have ideas. They got creativity. So my bank account could be zero, but my cash flow is $1 million. Because I got 1 million ideas, and all of them are worth something to somebody else. It may not be worth anything to you. I just got to connect. So every day I wake up, and I'm on a connection. I got to align with my demographics. That's it. I got to find the demographics. Because there's someone who wants to lose weight, and they don't know how. And I got books to help everybody lose weight. There's someone who wants to generate capital online. There's somebody who wants to write a book. And they think it's hard. They don't know that I write a book a day. And there's some people who think they've been told it takes a whole year to write a book. I remember people talking to me, yeah, well, I got to get this, I got to get an agent. And I got to get an editor. I got to get a graphics person. I got to get this, that, and the other. I said, well, good luck with that. And last time I talked to them, they still working on publishing their book. It's been over a year. You know how many books I published in a year? Shit's crazy. There's some people, like I said, man, I've been doing this thing for a week. First 3 days, I got 15 pounds. So I stopped last night when the video I posted on Facebook when me and Triple Chocolate was going out to break our fast. So we went out and ate. And in the week time, I had already dropped almost 25 pounds in a week. I know people say it takes a year. Those people, they should talk to me. So on my job, I got a line. There's a group of people out there. They need to talk to you. You just gotta find them. So that's all I do. There's people out there who don't know why they're here. They need my Diakonia report. Creativity flows based upon what you know. That's creativity. That's cash flow. Cash flow is based upon what you know. I'm not talking about a job. I'm not talking about money. That's one way. Now, the best of what they got both. The best of both worlds. You should have a job. Or you should have a means. Or you should have money in the bank. Like stacks and stacks of it. Hopefully. But if you don't, then you got to have cash flow. If you should have both. But out of the one, if you got to pick one, you want to pick cash flow. Because your money is controlled by someone outside of yourself. Cash flow is controlled by your flow based upon what you know that's inside yourself. So cash flow is internal. Money is external. Money is man-made. Money is the system. It's paper, or whatever, digital currency, whatever the man makes. Cash flow, out of your belly flows rivers of living water. That's God, homie. No devil on that level. Cash flow is between you and the big G. Ain't got shit to do with no reverend, no doctor, no bishop. It's you. Just cash flow. It flows out of your belly, flows rivers of living water. But we got a problem. What's the problem we got, Doc? Well, a lot of people, unfortunately, is suffering.
3308. Merimna.
That means you taking care of a person, place, or thing. Now, I know what you're going to say. Same thing I used to say. You know what word Marina means? It means distractions that causes inactions, care and anxiety. Especially if you're 6, I already know. It means the thing that separates you from your lot, to divide. You know, underneath that word Marina, if you go to my website, you're going to see this word.
Strong's G 3313. Meros.
Now, I always say Metros, like with a T, but it's Meros. M-E-R-O-S, no T. Meros. It means this is the word that changed my life January the 1st, 2009. My whole life changed with this one Greek word, Meros. It means your part due or assigned to you, your lot, your destiny. When I found out that I had a lot, I had a specific course. I had craft. In Hollywood, they always go up and they work in the craft. I say it means that God personally gave you a specific part in a specific place that's only assigned to you. When I found that out, I was like, whoa. Remember, the Bible said that God knew us in our mother's womb. He predestined us. Underneath that word predestination is the word allotment. Sister T, my whole life changed, Sister T, when I realized I'm the best in the world. Nobody got my lot, my share, my destiny. It is mine, Sister T. It's my God-given destiny. No mother can take it because no Negro gave it. So, no, I do not need your approval to do what the source code has called me. I don't need no mother covering. I don't need no damn doctor or no reverend or bishop to tell me, okay, brother, we'll allow you to go out there. Man, who the are you? I don't work for you. Religion is garbage because it neuters you. Negro, you report to God, not man. Unless you don't know what's the number one problem in the world. What stops your energy? Lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6, my people perish for lack of notice. You showed me a Negro in Groundhog's Day. I'm going to show you a Negro that don't know God. The real one, not the one in the church. Now, this is very important. I mean, you can look it up. Medros means that you got a specific part to play. You ain't here just to walk around and, just, kuna matata. No, you got a job to do, homie. That's why you just sit out here. If you still sucking up God's green air, God's good air, you here because the big G got something for you to do. But devil ain't stupid. The devil got somebody assigned to you. You remember that word genius means? It means tutelary demon. It means to pull alongside. For what? It keep you from operating in God's design. The devil is good. I keep telling y'all, man, he is the best in the world. And what he do, that's his job. I ain't mad at him. He's supposed to do his job. The devil is God's B-I-T-C-H on a leash. Remember, because he went to God, say, what about your boy Job? Let me touch him. I guarantee you he will curse you to your face. God said, okay, go ahead, homie. Do what you do best. So the devil can't touch me unless God allows it. So I already know that in advance. So I know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I know that all who rise up against me, I know I already won. I went to the back of the book, and I read in the back. It says, we win. So every day I wake up, I say, I already won. So I already won when I wake up in the morning, Brother Jesse. When I wake up and I do that, I say, oh, yeah, I'm a winner, chicken dinner. I already won, Sister Coleman, so I ain't fighting. Who the fuck I'm going to fight? When I wake up, I won, Brother Mitch. So, no, I ain't praying, I ain't fasting, I ain't doing that. What I'm doing is what? Staying at a high level. So how do you stay at a high level? Humble. With prayer and thanksgiving. Let your request be known unto God. With prayer and thanksgiving. Humble, man. How do you do that, though? Being real and being authentic. How do you be real? How do you be authentic? Know who you are. Know who are you and who do you belong to. You ain't just come here on your own. There was a million sperm cells released. And the egg selected you. You know, they used to say it used to be the fastest. Now they understand that, nope. It's not the fastest swimmer that impregnates the egg. The egg sends out a signal and selects the swimmer. Out of 1 million, supposedly, according to science, sperm cells, you got here. Out of 1 million, he selected you. So the whole ideal that you need to change, you need to do something, that's why, man, we live in a world that is really messed up. There are people walking around suicide like I used to because they think they jump. They listen to some preacher and they believe that they're a sinner. Man, that shit is so sad. There's people who are biological men and they want to be women. There's women who want to be men. That's a mental disorder. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your request be made known unto God. We got to break that down tonight. Because once you over and understand that you are the best in the world, that's why God selected you. God selected you. You didn't select him. That's one thing I like about John Calvin, man. Calvinism. Calvinism they call it irresistible grace. God's riches at Christ's expense. Grace. Grace, bruh. Grace. Now, again, I ain't talking religion. I don't like religion. I don't do religion. But what I do is facts. There's some things, bruh, science can't explain. The existence of God. The ability for you to understand faith is action. That is just as powerful as physical action. Not only you got to have faith in yourself, you got to have faith in your source. The first building block of all manifestation is believing and acting accordance or in accordance to that belief. I just have to operate on a higher level because that's my lot. It ain't yours. So if you are a 1 or you are an 8 or you're a 7, you ain't supposed to know what I know. You don't have to go as deep as I do. Faith is willingness to let go of your fears and realign your mind with your God-given design. That's why I do design reports to assist people that are not 336s. That's where my power comes from. That's where your power comes from. Your power comes from your alignment with your assignment. You have an assignment that was given to you by source. My assignment is to understand the depths by which, the layers of which, the different realities of the power of one. And so it's easy for me to see the field. Very few people can do that. They're not supposed to, though. So when you see the periodic table of elements, what do you see? If you go to the periodic table of elements, what do you see? You just see a bunch of elements. When I go to the periodic table of elements, since I was a kid, I saw all these different elements. But that one that was at the top of the table, it has a periodic number of 1. Lithium has 3. Sodium has 11. Magnesium has 12. Potassium has 19. Calcium has 20. And I'm going through all of these elements. Titanium has 22. Chromium has 24. But there's still one element called hydrogen. Hydrogens. Every element is a manipulation of the one element. So there's only one element. So if I take 3 pieces of hydrogen, they call it lithium, still hydrogen. If I take 11 molecules of hydrogen, it creates sodium. The body cannot run. Your body runs off of sodium and potassium. Remember I said that the doctor that's on TikTok telling everybody, especially most black folks are dying when they get older because the doctor tells them no sodium. And their stomach then can't digest their food, so they have acid reflux. Then they develop Alzheimer's because the brain needs sodium to operate. I don't know how many niggas I've talked to and told them that, and they dumb as bug. They still walking around with my doctor said I couldn't eat no salt, brother. No table salt, but nigga, you need to get you some fucking pink Himalayan salt. They got minerals and enzymes in it, otherwise you're a dead man. The body runs off sodium and potassium. There's people that I know that the doctor told them they can't eat no potassium. They're going to be dead. It's just a matter of time. Once the body uses up the sodium that's in the body, they're dead. So, but what does that mean, though? Why do we perish? Lack of knowledge. Why would a medical doctor tell you do not eat sodium and potassium? I remember telling my biological father that before he transitioned. I'm telling you, when the doctor sends you home with that box of Ensure and that box of Diakonia water, you're dead. I'm telling you. And I mean that so far, 2 close family members, that my dad's wife, and then they did the exact same thing to him. When they send you home with that box of Ensure, and that's 100% what? Sugar. What causes insulin? What causes your blood sugar to spike? Or they send you home, like every old person I know, doctor told them to drink diet soda. Every black person that I know over the age of 60. When I talk to them, I'm asking, why are you using artificial sweeteners? My doctor told me. I cannot make this shit up. Every family member that I know that's over or has taken pills or doing anything, every family member that I know on both sides of my family that take any kind of pills, they are usually doing those 3 things. I know family members, they only drink this Diakonia water because the doctors told them. You go to the VA hospital, in the VA hospital, they only have diet drinks, at least the one in San Antonio, and Diakonia water. I cannot make this up. And they recommend Ensure. Anybody read the box of first of all, it's in a can. Anybody? Sodium and potassium is what you need to produce electrolytes or electricity in your body. I know 0 black people over the age of 65 that understand that statement I just made. Unless you're on this call and over the age of 65, because, I've been saying this shit for 30 years. Every black person I know in my family before that, I had the opportunity to talk to before they died, elderly, they was told by their doctors, do not eat bananas, anything with potassium in it, and cut your salt. Because they prepping your ass for death. This is a death code. That specific subject matter information that you need in order for you to exist on this planet. That's what I mean. People perish for lack of knowledge. Have you ever noticed something like when you go to jail, you know what the word felon means in ancient texts? Why do they call them a felon? It simply means evil spirit or devil, felon. Why do you have to post bail? You go to the doctor like you get arrested. Arrested. That's a whole nother word. Arrested development disorder. When you get arrested. And look at these words, arrested. Then you got to go to a bail bondsman. You got to post bail. Well, bail is code for bail. So B-A-I-L is B-A-A-L, which is the same as B-E-L-L. Hooked on phonics. Worked for me. Lucifer is the god of phonics, bruh. That's what we call William. But what does it have to do with creating currency, Brother Will, and making money and living my dream? Lucifer doing the same thing to you that he do to everybody else. He's just doing it in a different manner. What do you mean? He's separating you from source. Okay, what does that mean? So when people get arrested, they don't know that when they pay the money to the bail bond, that's a covenant. Well, you got to covenant with the Most High and not the Most Low. But as soon as you pay Mammon, you sign a contract with Mammon. Mammon has authority to continue to fuck up your life because you posted bail. It's B-A-A-L, not B-A-I-L. So he rings your B-E-L-L. You his B-I-T-C-H now. You sign a contract. So once you get in the criminal justice system, even the word correctional department, it's this departmentalization of your soul. Remember in the movie Split, how many departments, how many characters did old boy play? He had dissociative identity disorder. That's why the government has what? The Department of Energy, the Department of this, the Department of the Armed Forces. I was in the Department of the Navy that had another department called the Marines. So the Marine Corps is a division. Look at the word. D-I-vision, divide vision. The Marine Corps is a division. Look at the word Marine. Look at our devil dog. Marines, we call devil dogs. Devil dogs. Why? Marines are the only department. Look at the word Marine. Maritime law. We used to sing the song by air, on land, and by sea. We the first to fight, first to die. We used to sing that song. Marines love to die. Kill, kill, kill. That's all I was trained in. Man, we gonna get paid to kill? Fuck yeah, the drill instructors just go batshit crazy when you kill somebody. Like we're gonna end another person's life? For what? The whole cistern is a death code. So what we're talking about today is that's money. Now, let's be for real. That's the dark side of money. Can money be used for good? Absolutely. But out of your belly flows a river, and that river contains living water from a living God that uses a living book for living people. You cannot serve the dead God from the dead book for dead people. It's easy to tell. You have no currency. You are an electrical, magnetic, chemical being. E-L means God. L-E-C-T means elect. God has elected you. That's why you got electricity. So the devil got to kill your electricity by removing your sodium and potassium. That's the biological benefits of prayer and fasting, as we break it down later on tonight. You can always tell people who the devil owns because they have no electricity. They have no magnetism. Therefore, they have no control over their chemistry. The devil is not stupid. He takes your sodium and potassium because the body runs off sodium and potassium. But that produces ATP and ADP. So you feel tired and lethargic. You can't bust your way out of a wet paper bag. I mean, not you personally, but people we know. So therefore, your river is blocked up. So I'm here to unblock and to remove the blockage in your river. That's what the Kleronomics book. So if you don't have it, it's for free. Just go to the website, text me, email me. I'll send you the link. Just download it so you can understand Kleronomics. Comes from the Greek word kleros. That means the household management of the soul. It means one. Remember that same word metros is inside of that word as well. Nomos. That means rules. Kleros. If you break down kleros and what it means, one who receives by lot his heir. His allotted assignment by right of sonship. You are a daughtership, sonship. You are a ship. That's why they use maritime law. There's this guy that was breaking down, man, and I posted on, it was like, he went through history. He was a history teacher. He broke down the MONE doctrine, which how they legally, in their head, justified establishing white supremacy by saying that you have to be a white Christian to own land so they could justify killing Native Americans. And he went through the Magna Carta and the MONE doctrine, and he broke down every major paper bull, and he went through American history, starting with a little bit of British history. In every major, and I remember reading the MONE doctrine, the Magna Carta, Bill of Rights, and all that shit. I remember studying that in school. I had no idea it was just for white people. I mean, I knew people that told me it, but I didn't understand how it was. I didn't understand the language. How using language to kill Native Americans and enslave black people with language. Man, Lucifer is a fucking genius. That's what the Bible said. He was the most cunning. He is, whatever it is. Lucifer. Remember the movie Lucy? What was it about? Same thing. So this is mind metaphysics. Now you wake up in the morning, you're just going to work. You're just doing your job. You're not worrying about what's going on in the spirit realm. Well, you're probably not a 33. Ain't your job, homie. But I'm worried about, I'm aware of, word is the wrong word, I'm aware of the household management of your soul. That's the Greek word oikonomai. O-I-K-O-N-O-M-I-A, oikonomai. Comes from the Greek word O-I-K-O-S. That means your house. You are the manager. You are the steward over your house, brother. Source code is going to judge you, if you want to use that term, based upon how you manage your house. Your mind, your will, your emotion, your imagination, and your intellect, that's your house, bro. You ain't no physical being. You're a spirit. Now, you got possession of the soul, and you're going to manifest it through a body. So the enemy wants to take your soul, your body. That's what coaching is about. So inside the free book that I'm offering today, chapter 3 breaks down the first principle, what I call destiny. The second principle is the standard, God. The third principle is your DNA activation. The fourth principle is specialized knowledge, your niche. That's what we're talking about right now. The fifth principle is your imagination, your focus, your clarity. The sixth principle is the organization of your imagination, your purpose, your clarity. The seventh principle is diligence. The eighth principle is what I call photon and photon physics, never quit. The ninth principle is mind power, resonance. The 10th principle is transformative or transformation by the renewing of the mind. The 11th principle is the biology of the temple, controlling your biology with your theology. The 12th principle, the most important principle, is the spirit-brain, the God-body connection. Those are the 12 principles that my entire life and my entire system and everything I do is based upon those 12 principles because they control the 12 cranial nerves. And all of that came straight out of the Helios Biblios when I wrote this shit 20 years ago. So there's more chapters inside of the book. Chapter 15 on, again, that's inside the post I sent you guys. That's the foundation of my peak performance coaching, which is why, like I said all the time, I don't have no competition. So brothers and sisters, make sure you pick up the free book. That's free. Next, you want to get the 25 books, the 25 hours of audio called, that's called the Hidden Science series. It's based upon Hebrews chapter 11. The cost of that series is $99. We'll do a sale today for, let's say, $50, 50% off. What's today? Today is the 2nd. So just for today only, pretty much for the people who, on the call today. $50 for that 25-hour series. It just breaks down the hidden science behind really what we call the Bible. It just talks about the hidden forces. Really breaks down Hebrews chapter 11. It explains Abrakas as well as Samael, in the movie Hellboy, Blind Guardians, and all of the movies. But it's interesting, it's not in none of the church, meaning that nobody in the church understands or have read about Samael, which is very interesting. So, brothers and sisters, I love you. For everybody that's part of the biological benefits of prayer and fasting, we'll see you tonight with day 3. I love you, and nothing you can do about it. God bless.